Hello, Odd Job Doer here, and today's little adventure is not so much a cookbook review or recipe. It's more of an ingredient, and you've probably seen by the title here. But look at that, we got some Shields date sugar since 1924. So I picked up this can, nice 2.5 pounds, from the Shields date place in Indio and California, and it's a nice little paint can, you know. And let's just take a look at the back here. So it has an interesting flavor. I wouldn't say it's like a malt maybe, but it's not just sweet. It has a nice little flavor to itself. But we got here, per serving size, we got 15 calories, you know, not too much fat, cholesterol, sodium, 4 grams of carbohydrates with some fiber there, and some potassium there, and not so much some vitamins, but yeah, it's interesting. And here's a nice little story about it. Nature's greatest foods. Grown in California, 100% pure. No refrigeration necessary. It's not your processed sugar. If we replace that kind of stuff. Easy to use, just mix them in Mrs. Shields date recipe folder enclosed. Shield Date Gardens, Indio, California. There's a website there in case you want to contact them and get your own date sugar and try stuff out. Now, the issue I have had with them, slight issue, was that when I got this big can and I got it home, I saw other vessels of different sizes, and I saw the recipe book in those other ones. Well, this one here, I've kind of dug to the bottom, still haven't found one, but I think you can go online and print them off yourself. So that's what I kind of did here. And this here talks about, if you're going to just use this date crystal sugars in a different recipe to substitute out your white sugar, you do want to use a cup. They're saying about a cup of the date crystals to 1/3 cup of liquid. And you guys read that? Okay, good. And yeah, so I haven't used this before, but when you go to the Shields farm there in Indio, which I could do a little video on that, I guess, about my little show and tell on that trip. They do offer up something called the Date Shake here, Date Crystals Milkshake, and they give you the recipe, you know, right here. And of course, you use the Shields Date Crystals, and that like I said, it gives it a different flavor. You know, it's like, you know, I like malts, not just a shake. Malts are tasty, but this here kind of gets a, you know, kind of gets on that kind of route in my mind. Has a nice sweet flavor to it still, and it's good. So we got chocolate truffle, but the recipe I'm doing today is the sugar, the dates sugar cookies, right? And so, step 1 here, mix and let stand covered in the refrigerator overnight. So I guess I'm not going to really get this done today, but 1 cup of date sugar and 1/2 cup of water. So let me get that going first. Over here, and we got ourselves a mixing bowl. We got ourselves our pure date sugar. See, it's a little brown. It's almost like brown sugar, but you know, there's no molasses in it, I'm sure. Make it rain. Maybe don't do it so it sucks up the air. Away with you, powdered. Okay, and you mix in it your 1/2 cup of water, like so. And I got a little whisk. Actually, I shouldn't beat around too much. I should keep it nice and smooth. And so this is going to give it some rehydration to it, and make more like a paste per se. Now I can go to town. Haha, 2 hands, huh? Action cam. Let's see. Make a little paste here. Try to get the most of it settled at the bottom. And yep. So at the Date Shields farm, it's kind of neat. You know, they got all kinds of, I think, date products, of course. They got yourself like a movie theater there to watch a video on the history of the place and history of dates. For date night. And of course they have, like, you know, the ice cream place. And I think in the back they serve like sandwiches like that too. We didn't gonna do that, but we did get the shake at least. Okay, in there. And now I'm going to. Uh-oh. Yeah. I'm gonna lick my thumb off. And I'm gonna cover this here up with saran wrap and put in the fridge, and continue tomorrow. Alrighty, so it's been a day-ish, whatever, overnight per se. And what we got here now is the date sugar has been reconstituted kind of with the half a cup of water, cup of date sugar, just to recap. And what we're going to add to this is, so right off the bat, we're going to add to it half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm assuming, I don't know, I've never used like real vanilla bean per se. I've always used a little extract. It's not calling for bean, but just calling for vanilla. So, have a teaspoon of vanilla there. And then we'll do our cup of, well, it says here a cup of margarine. And I'm not a margarine fan. I'm like this, butter, right? Margarine, I'm not going to go into it, but there's a difference. The difference between margarine and butter. And hopefully butter's fine. Should be. And this here has been kind of sitting out, so it's a little room temperature. So it's easier to work with. And so a cup is 2 sticks of get in there butter. Makes your hand all greasy and stuff. Yeah, greasy butter fingers. Wait, I can't say that. Anyways, butter flanges. Okay, so in you go. Stick number 2, get in there. And, no, that's good enough. And then, slightly damp or a dry paper towel for these greasy fingers. Then what we got here is we'll do, let's see, recap real quick. We got the date sugar, water, then we got the butter, and brown sugar. Brown sugar, actually sugar, brown sugar can both go in this, but a cup of brown sugar. Right, this is a little bit different. Ta-da! A little experiment here because I kind of ran out of brown sugar. And if you have brown sugar that's hard, like keep in the fridge, so keep it fresh, then 2 different schools of thoughts. One is you get a microwave-safe container and you put it in there. Oh, by the way, when you're measuring brown sugar, it should be packed, right? So microwave safe container, and you get a damp paper towel. You put it over the top of that with the brown sugar in it, and you kind of microwave it for 15, 25 seconds at a time until it then kind of mush around with a fork or a spoon until it becomes pliable again, and you can do stuff. Right? So that is that, more or less. The other secret I found is if you take said brown sugar that's all hard and crusty and hard to do stuff with, and add just a little bit of liquid, and then start mushing and stirring it, it's going to make like this here, a nice hard crusty paste. And that should be fine. At least we'll find out in a minute. Okay, brown sugar. Now then, other that goes into the liquid thing is they got the vanilla in there, and we're going to do eggs. So over here, we got an egg. Now, if anyone really knows me and knows how I deal with eggs, get out of there, they know I'm kind of a little bit neurotic about the eggs, right? And so what I like to do is get rid of a certain part. Now, the certain part is called the Charlaze. C-H-A-L-A-Z-A-E. Charlaze, something special. And so I do it like this. I crack the egg, and I try to get a seam going around it, right, over your bowl. And then I already got a piece of shell going in there. I see that. Yeah. So I let most of the stuff fall away. I'll be fishing shell out. So, nothing here, right? And the Charolais is this part right here. It's this white snotty thing. You see that? All white snotty thing that's dark white. And what that is there's one on each side of this egg, and it kind of helps hold the egg yolk in the middle. So it's kind of fibrous, and I get that booger out and get rid of it. And then I'm going to go to get some of these shells out of here. Yeah. Get out of there. Don't want crunchy cookies, although it's going to be a little crunchy because of my sugar choices, but Alright, so toss this back to their side. Let some of that whites go in there. And by the way, the simple egg here, I believe, has like 7 different parts to it. This Charolais thing being one of them. So toss it around so I get that other booger thing coming out. And just kind of get like this and pinch it off between the shells. Ta-da! Booger's gone. Now you just got egg yolk, pretty much. And having just an egg yolk, you can separate eggs that way if you do it by hand, or you can actually do it by hand. But yeah, there we go. Charolais out of there. Shell out of there. The piece of shell that's in here, I'm gonna find it and get it out of there. Now we got some dry stuff over here, and right off the bat here, I'm gonna go on the list. What we have here is 2 cups of flour, which is right here. We have a teaspoon of baking soda, which is right back here, and a teaspoon of baking powder, which I put over here, right next to a cup of granulated white sugar, and 3 cups of quick oatmeal. So I got them on this vessel, and you know, give a little stir to make them all friends and combine them. You know. And then we'll go back to the other one. I'll go a little bit more strong on this, but on the other side here, back in the wet bucket, we got that. And we got our eggs, shell free. Alright, in they go. And time to hand mix them, right? I guess you had a other kind of mixer, stationary one, you can do that. Let's see how this works. It works like that. Alright, so I'm going to continue to do this till it's all nice and incorporated. Basically, you can't point and say this is butter, this is whatever. So I'll incorporate it all together. Okay, kind of like this. And yeah, people can look at this and say, hey, that's still butter, that's other stuff, but incorporated. Righto. And sometimes when you do this, you want to scrape it on the side. Give it some more mix. You know, stir up like this. But the moral of the story is, now I've gotten this part here, this bucket, and this bucket here can be friends. You can mix them together. Now, people are looking at this saying, this is almost full. That thing there has pretty much a lot of stuff in it, but I'm going to add wet to dry here. And just spoon in a few like this. And just start working it in here. Right. Incorporate the two, and hopefully they, you know, do indeed not overspill my bottom bowl, which I don't think so. Make sure you got that baking soda and baking powder all spread out. Right, so once again, I'm going to I'll probably get a scraper on this bowl here and scrape the rest of this goodness out and make sure it's all inside here. And stir it up nicely. There. Mix successful. Now, the next part, they want you to heat the oven, preheat it to 350 degrees, and I'm quoting here, drop by rounded teaspoon on a greased cookie sheet, and then bake at 350 for about 20 minutes or until brown. It should make about 60 cookies, it says. Now, the thing I have here is, look, here it is, 1 teaspoon. You see how big that is? It looks big because I'm close to the camera. But here's 1 tablespoon. A lot bigger. I'm going to go with a tablespoon because I don't know if that's a misprint. But I'm going to try to, and of course if I had a cookie scooper, that'd be even better. Especially with this mixture. But I have one, it's just not here in my hands. So I'm going to take this thing here, and just kind of bob like that, and drop it. Like that. Okay, so maybe not exactly like that, but you know. Oh, and as you notice, there's not really a greased cookie sheet per se. Since it's the future, I use this here silicone embedded paper stuff, and it seems to work pretty good. It goes about like 450 degrees or something like that. And it kind of browns sometimes, but otherwise, yeah, stuff will slide off of it. But you all know that. Now, what I'm thinking here, though, is, you know, probably an older recipe, and yes, I would hypothesize that if you had a greased cookie sheet, that would imbue some extra flavors that you're not going to get with this. And I'm okay with that. So, I'm going to take these and kind of put them apart, just in case they spread. I don't know if they're going to spread a lot or a little. None at all. Right, just dream like I had a cookie scooper, and then just smash. So I'm doing like one little tablespoon little biscuit things. Right? Right. Okay, so at this point you can see we got some cookies there dropped on there, and we got some batter still there. I did about 24, a little bit over a third of the cookies. Oh, and there's the oven. So I'll go ahead and put these in the oven rack. I got two sheets right now. Put in the oven. And I'll set a timer in the oven. I set a timer for 15 minutes. Timer. Alright, just to check that out. Now, I'm what you call me like a recipe purist, you know? I like to do the recipe like it says in the book or the instructions, you know, at least the first time. Just so you try it out and see if it's a good recipe or not. But sometimes you gotta, you know, you don't gotta, but you want to do a little something different, you know? And there's some people who just can't seem to have a cookie without some kind of a chip involved, right? You know what I'm talking about, chips? Well, you will hear in a minute. Morsels, I think I could say that. And so, whatever's left in here, I got here a 3/4 cups of, these are kind of a bigger dark chocolate chip. That's tasty. And but wait, there's more. And I mean, technically, I guess you could probably do like coconut. You can do nuts. Probably do some chopped up nuts in there. But you know what? It has oatmeal, so that's healthy enough. So we got 3/4 cup dark chocolate chips, morsels, and we'll add to that. How about 3/4 cup of butterscotch chips? If you don't like them, that's fine. You can put something else in there. I do. Although I tend to think that, you know, these little butterscotch morsel chip things aren't quite tasty like an old-fashioned butterscotch. Something's just not right with it. I don't know. Anyways, once again, incorporate it. scrape the bottom. This is another good chance to make sure that the bottoms don't have any flour hanging out there, any dry ingredients. Right, and then same thing. After you get this nice and incorporated, we're going to blop it on down into another cookie sheet and get ready for the oven. So I'll get ready to blop. About 16 minutes I got this right here. To see it with a better light, it'll look like this right here. And nice. Didn't touch too much, but all of these are going to need separating. Or that's just one cookie, right, for me. Now, usually what you do is you pull them out and you put them on something to cool them, you know, like a rack. And well, I do have a rack, but I also have this here. This is a pan, probably a cake pan, upside down. And I'm going to slide off this batch of cookies onto that. Very carefully, without burning my fingers too much. Like this paper, it's kind of warm, but not dynamite. Okay, I don't know if my arm was in the way for that, but abracadabra, that's done. And the other ones, I will kind of spread this out like so. Ow! It's already hot. And get this one here. In theory, same thing. Off like magic. Ta-da! Now this thing here, I'm going to add another thing of paper to it, and throw on some more dough and slam it back in the oven, and let these here cool. Yeah, that's almost cool enough. Now let them cool, and put the other cookies with the secret ingredients in the oven. So kind of dark and yeah, kind of dark. And then there's the first batch over there, second batch here with the other ingredients. Batch over here, which is not as dark. Different baking pans will give you different results. And these I actually left in for a little bit longer, like closer to their 20 minutes, right? And now they've cooled a little bit. Now this one here, these are on the dark pan right here with the paper down. It's still warm. I still feel it warm, but see, black. Yeah, it's definitely more crunchier, more firmer. But really, I'm giving you a play-by-play here. Initial bite was a crunch and gooey inside, or soft, and yeah, morsels. You see them? Right. Morsels. So this is a really good recipe. Like just the basic model was good, and the ingredient was that date sugar. You know, it has some. I say it gives us some flavor. Chilled date sugar gives us some flavor there, and I think the mixture you have maybe almost like it's like a brown sugar kind of thing. Of course, you put brown sugar in this too. You put all the sugars almost, and yeah, I might make these again. So, solid recipe, old school, I think. Tasty, and yeah, I do like to add some chips to mine, especially those butterscotch are pretty good. But enough about me. If you like chips, let me know in the comments below. If you tried any of the Shields date sugar, let me know about what you used it with or tried it for. And yeah, I'm gonna go and finish up these cookies. Finish boxing them up. See, I got a little container there. Put them in. I'll probably put them in a Ziploc bag, also some paper plate. And there you have it. Oh, and hold up. Let's see. 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30, 31, I don't know. I can't count anymore. And plus, some of them kind of got disappeared. But maybe I got hold on. Okay, so after counting and counting these here and counting these over here, I get about 56 count, right? So pretty close to that 60. Maybe if I did not goop some up as much. I think I did put a little bit extra packing on some of these, so I could have probably somehow, I don't know, scooped out. If I did a scoop, you know, one of those little scoop things, 1 ounce, I don't know. I could have gotten my 60, but I don't care. This is pretty good. There's other times I've made recipes where it's like, oh, 3 dozens, and I got like 24. So, enough about me though. Cookie's great. And questions, comments, leave them below. And thanks for watching. Time to put these away.